including one from MSNBC, Rachel Maddow, talking about what she believes will happen if Donald Trump does not knock off his normal behavior surrounding this indictment. Thinking of maybe looking at some Bo as well, and we have a new way to share links because, as we learned in last week's stream, it's not entirely feasible to do that over YouTube chat, and the filters that pull out links I cannot turn off. But what we can do is use this right here. Just put a link in the chat, and I am pinning it. Well, there we go. That's a link to a spreadsheet. Rustbox, good day to you as well. If you have a link that you think we should look at on this channel, on Friday Peace Talks, the general idea is that all are welcome, and we share links. We look at what everybody wants to look at, and we have an honest conversation about it. There are some rules on Fridays, though. Number one is welcome new people. Number two is essentially don't be mean. Don't insult people. Number three is to... Oh, I hope we're still live. Okay, we are. Number three is to hear out arguments from opposing viewpoints rather than cut them off. And number four is that when your old pal Jake breaks the rules, tell me about it. Make sure I know and keep me honest, just like I will do the same for you. Let's dive into some of these clips, though. I was hoping to play this yesterday. It just didn't work out in the show. Let's see what Rachel Maddow had to say regarding this indictment.
Joining us now is David Rohde. He's executive editor for news at thenewyorker.com. He's the author of the book In Deep, which details the lengths that Bill Barr went to protect Donald Trump at the U.S. Justice Department, which ultimately, in some ways, is what got us here today. David, it's nice to see you. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Do you think it is fair to see this indictment today as the sort of fruit that was grown on the tree that was Bill Barr? When Bill Barr came in basically to try to protect Trump at the U.S. Justice Department, did that effectively set in motion the chain of events and the timeline that led to this indictment today?
It did, and it's partly this, crazy theory that, sitting presidents cannot be indicted. This Office of Legal Counsel opinion in the Justice Department that came up so many times in the Mueller investigation, it came up again in the Cohen case, and if we had a more functional Congress, that would be, I think, a reform that would maybe help our democracy. That, presidents, aren't immune from prosecution or investigation in all forms by the Justice Department while they're in office.
Okay. I almost don't know how to react to this. I've been on this channel basically the whole time. One of our chief complaints has been, or at least the complaint of mine that I put out there, and a lot of the wicked audience seems to agree. It's been that this Office of Legal Counsel opinion is no good. Bad opinion. And we should not compromise one of the main checks to the president's power based on the opinion of, I'm going to be real with you, a bunch of lackeys from the 60s. 70s, I guess. Yeah, it would be the 70s. A bunch of henchmen from the 70s. It's bad opinion. What I was not prepared for was for this to become a mainstream talking point. I saw it on MSNBC 4 or 5 times in some of the clips that we're going to play tonight. My mind is blown. Actual, tangible, useful change being advocated for on cable television? Hachi machi. Awesome. I mean, I'll take it. But very, very wild to me to actually see this happening. This would be like if we saw, I don't know, Anderson Cooper be like, but would there be value to universal health care? If the COVID shots were free and that decreased that increased the health of the nation overall, shouldn't we, like, it would just blow my mind to see that. And equally so, here we have this. I guess I should let the man keep going because he is on a roll.
But now we are here today.
But I am going to stop it again.
Was Trump?
I'm stealing JFJ Live's joke from yesterday. I am drinking adult beverages again, but it's coffee. Y'all. It was a rough morning.
Clearly, in the court papers when Cohen pled guilty, Trump was individual one. Can Alvin Bragg convince a Manhattan jury that that was true beyond a reasonable doubt? And you mentioned the threats, and we can talk about that more, but that is the concern here. A critical player in this trial is going to be the judge. And how do you give Donald Trump a fair trial? I completely agreed with what was said earlier by Andrew. Let's calm down. Let's let the system work. If Donald Trump is acquitted, that's fine. That's the way our system works. But I'm very concerned about how can a judge make this a fair trial without making it a crazy trial where jurors feel intimidated.
Well, David, I know you spoke with prosecutors who have handled cases against Trump allies, particularly Trump allies who are sort of cut from the same cloth as he is, like people like Roger Stone. What did they tell you? What do you think we can extrapolate from those earlier cases in terms of how this one might go?
So when Trump is arraigned, he will be released on bail, and that's normal. That's for any nonviolent crime. But there's a series of conditions he then agrees to with the judge so that he can be out on bail and so he can participate in the trial. He's got to obey what the judge tells him. And what happened in the Roger Stone trial, this is the sort of famous dirty trickster and Trump ally back to the Richard Nixon era. At one point during Roger Stone's trial, he posted a picture of the judge in his case, and there was a crosshairs, like a target, beside her face. She then, and it's her right as a judge, and judges can do this with the defendant, she issued a partial gag order that barred Roger Stone from posting anything online regarding that trial. You can imagine what would happen if Donald Trump, if a judge in the upcoming trial were to limit his ability to speak online. And the most extreme step that a judge could take, and this is the issue here, if he is intimidating jurors with threats of violence, they can revoke his bail. So that's...
First of all, MSNBC is stealing Sam Cedar's set design ideas, clearly. Look at that background. Second, MAGA folks, doesn't this embarrass you, like, a little bit? That you have people on your side resorting to these tactics? Do you actually not have any respect for the law? The courtroom? I think you do, probably, right? I feel like you gotta. So what's up? Why don't I hear about Roger Stone being condemned by y'all? What about Trump? What was that with Alvin Bragg posting the baseball bat picture? I know what the excuse is. The excuse is he was just sharing. He was just sharing, and he says he didn't see what was in the picture. Of course he did. Of course he saw what was in the picture. Either the guy's too dumb for your support because he posted a picture, and he's done this multiple times, that accidentally looks like he was suggesting violence be done against someone investigating him. Or he was intentionally doing that. So is he too dumb or is he too evil? I know. It's harsh. I'm being harsh intentionally. Those are my honest feelings. Is either dumb to constantly It's also mighty coincidental. I'm going way out on a limb here. Constantly share posts that hint at QAnon, posts that are branded with QAnon, posts that threaten officials investigating him, or it's evil. Either way, I feel it should disqualify him from having your support. And if you do still support him, tell me why. Explain why you're okay. How it is you get past the fact that he's done that when it comes to supporting him.
That's why the judge is such a critical player in this. Frankly, it's in Donald Trump's interest to stay calm and to act, calmly and sanely and say, I'm not afraid of this trial. I trust this system. I trust jurors. But he certainly doesn't have a history of that.
Yeah, he does not have a history of that. That is fully accurate. Get rid of that. Oh, good God. Again with this. Killing me. I'll tell you, one day I will have a producer. I swear to you. Someone to run the thing. Or I'll produce, and we'll get a handsome Joe up here to read the news. Either way, we're going to use teamwork to make the dream work. Ooh, did I have this? So it's Friday Peace Talks. We're keeping it casual. We're talking, of course, about the biggest, the biggest news of the year so far. Good Lord, possibly not of the decade, but certainly of the year. It's the indictment of a U.S. president. Never happened before.